Hello and welcome to Tech Deals. Today we're doing an unboxing and overview of LG's brand new 32-inch Full HD 1080p IPS desktop computer monitor. What is this? Why should you care and why should you watch? Are you looking for an excellent, high-quality 32-inch desktop computer monitor? Do you want something big so that you can see your programs easily, so that you can either game or browse the web or watch videos and have everything nice, bright, crisp, and clear? Do you want a monitor with excellent viewing angles, multiple inputs in the back that is very flexible and easy to use? Then you've come to the right place, because this is the deal in 1080p monitors. $200 gets you an incredible monitor. This is not some cheap budget monitor. This is a fully featured monitor with a top quality IPS or in-plane switching panel. If you've been watching my video, you'll have seen I recently did a video of IPS versus TN. Not this monitor, there was two others, but I showed the difference in viewing angle and color quality and clarity. There's just no reason to go with TN anymore. IPS is so much better and the price has come down. Furthermore, if you watch my channel, the past few months, my game performance videos, my hardware, Windows update and performance videos have all been on a 32-inch 1080p monitor. That is an LG monitor. That is the predecessor, last year's version of this monitor. This is the new updated version. More features, more ports, less money. That monitor was $300. This one's $200. They cut a third of the price. It's dropped by $100 to $199. Link in the description below. I bought this off of Amazon. I'll put a link to both Amazon and Newegg in the video description below. By all means, go check it out. Now, for those of you thinking, wait, 32 inch, is that too big? Not necessarily. First of all, having owned a 32-inch 1080p monitor for several months and having used it in a variety of situations here in the office, let me tell you, it's not as bad as you'd think. It's not pixelated, it's not too big, depending on how far from the monitor you sit. A 32-inch monitor is 40% larger in terms of screen space than a 27-inch monitor. Now, if you ultimately decide this is too big, LG makes a very similar monitor, a 27-inch 1080p IPS, the good one, for $150. I'll link that in the video description below as well. But frankly, this is 25% more for 40% more screen space, and it's a beautiful, beautiful monitor. So if you're looking for a big monitor for an immersive experience in Windows, in gaming, in watching videos, for $200, that's the deal. Okay, I'm gonna unbox this here in a minute, and I'm also going to plug it into a computer, turn it on, and show it to you, which usually I don't do in my unboxing videos, but I'm going to go ahead and do it this time because this has a gorgeous, gorgeous screen. This comes with multiple inputs. It comes with a reasonably fast response time. So if you plan on gaming, for example, no, it's not a 4 millisecond monitor, but it's close enough. It's in the 6 to 8 millisecond range. It's good enough for anything other than ultra-competitive online gaming. And if you're an ultra-competitive online gamer, then this wouldn't be what you'd want anyway. There's special monitors for that. It doesn't have, the one maybe detriment to this monitor, it does not have 100% sRGB color reproduction. What does that mean? sRGB is a specification for the reproduction of color for print web media. If you are a professional image editor or illustrator, or you're making content for money, if you're trying to make content for the web or for print for money, this is not the monitor for you because it doesn't have 100% accurate sRGB color reproduction. I'm not talking about personal web pages or Facebook uploads. It's fine for those. But for people making a living doing image work, you need a professional monitor, which this isn't. For everyone else, it's plenty. It's 72% of the sRGB spectrum, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's actually plenty because the sRGB spectrum covers a lot more than your average web page and your average game. It covers professional work. So it's not a professional monitor. Beyond that, it does everything else you might need a monitor to do. Let's open it, shall we? I'm excited. I'm excited because I love deals. My channel's called Tech Deals, and it's called Tech Deals for a reason. My wife calls me her deal man. I love deals. Anytime I see a situation where you can get a lot for your money without having to pay too much, anytime the ratio of stuff for this amount of money, I get excited. And $200 for a 32-inch 1080p IPS screen, I'm excited. And in case anybody thinks that LG is starting to send me monitors, no, I actually bought this off Amazon. I already own an LG 32-inch 1080p monitor. I bought another one. It's a good deal. They're good monitors. I was very happy with the last model, and I have no doubt I'll be happy with this one. In fact, I'll go ahead and set my knife over here. I shouldn't need it again. See how this opens up, shall we? It should be fairly straightforward. I will tilt this up. You shouldn't do this, but I'm doing this for the camera because you don't want to see this out of a box. When you open it up, let me do this. It's pretty straightforward. You got a stand, you got some cords. It's pretty straightforward. There is plastic all over this stuff. Be sure to peel the plastic off. I will put this in my handy dandy plastic pile. Yes, I clean that up, don't worry. Once a week or so. Plastic pile. And we have our stand. And there is an extension piece which connects to the monitor, which of course also has plastic. I suppose in addition to the sRGB color spectrum issue, which really isn't an issue for anything other than professional users, the base is, unfortunately, the black gloss plastic, which collects fingerprints. If that bothers you, well, it's that glossy plastic that well, it already has a fingerprint on it from my touching it. And plastic pile. Let's see what's in here, shall we? Oh, goody. Cables. We'll open that in a second. The styrofoam comes right out. By the way, save your packing materials. If you ever need to ship the monitor or you sell it in the future or you need to send it back to LG for warranty service, it is so nice to have monitors. The only real proper way to ship these is if you have a proper box. So I highly recommend save the foam, save the packing material. You may not need it, or it may come in really handy at some point. And besides, you never know. If you do have a problem with your monitor, Amazon and Newegg are very, very good about swapping out components. If you have a problem in the first 30 to 45 days after you order your monitor, they'll replace it. They'll pay shipping both ways. They'll send you a new one. They'll pay to ship the old one back. It's why I buy everything from Amazon and Newegg. Awesome customer service. I'm going to tilt this up again just so you can see what's in here. The monitor is resting on a piece of foam on the bottom, and it's also wrapped in foam. Very nice. What I'm going to do here is I'm just stepping to the side because I want to tilt this up while holding it. This is the bottom of the monitor stand right here. What I'm going to do is lift this up out of the box just a bit and attach the stand while it's in the box. And the reason is that I will then turn it sideways and I will lift the monitor out of the box onto the stand. So what I'm doing, yes, I could open the manual. This is pretty straightforward. This end goes there, and this goes, I'm going to do this first. There is a screw on the bottom, so you will need a flathead screwdriver. I could probably do this by hand. I'm going to go get a flathead screwdriver. And we are back with my handy flathead screwdriver. So you put the plastic extension into the base, and all you have to do is screw this one screw in. It's not heavy. This is very easy. There we go. Nice and secure. I'm going to set my screwdriver down over here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift the monitor out of the box just far enough to snap this into it. This way I could just lift it straight out of the box onto the stand, because I don't want to take the monitor out of the box and then be fumbling about with a screen that doesn't have anything to hold on to. Let's see here. We'll lift this up. There we go. And there's a bit of plastic to peel off here. There we go. And There's no screw for that. It just pops right on. So now I'm going to turn the box sideways. And then all I have to do is lift the monitor out and set it just like so. And it's on firmly, no worries. All that's in the box is the foam. I'm going to take the previous piece of styrofoam and just lay it in the box because we're saving our packing material. This will go in my ever-growing closet over there full of boxes from all the stuff I've done unboxings of. Very cool. All right, this is just foam protection, and it just lifts off like so. Actually, this needs to go in the box as well. I'll put this in a minute. Save this foam as well. It protects the screen. I'll just set it there for now. There is plastic all over this monitor. The plastic you have to peel off, it's protective plastic. So, there we go. Let's just peel that off. All across the bottom, lots of plastic. On the back of the monitor, it's not that heavy, I'm having to lean over the desk. Lots and lots of plastic. By the way, this reflection that you're seeing right here is because of the fact that I have some very powerful lights in my shooting studio here. I've got 2100 watt equivalent soft boxes. You normally wouldn't see a reflection in a normal environment, but I've got very, very bright lights. That's why you're seeing that. So don't think that's normal. One of these days, I will probably redo my lights in my shooting studio. Actually, I'll probably redo the whole thing. This is kind of what I have at the moment. And that'll go over there. Yes, I really will clean that up. Take a look at this. Now, when I have it angled so that it's not having a light hit it, you see there's no reflection. If I turn it, there's no reflection, but if I tilt it, that's one of the soft boxes. So you only get that reflection if there's a light source directly on the center of the screen. Well, what should be in front of the center of the screen? Your head. You're looking at it. So if by chance you have a light source directly behind your head on your screen, there will be a reflection on the screen. If it's off to the side or the top or the ceiling, it's not an issue. I only bring this up because it's a glossy screen. The benefit to a glossy screen is that you don't have the haze of the matte finish. It's a very, very bright, vibrant screen. In just a couple of minutes, I'm going to hook this up to a computer, turn it on so you can see it. I'll show you the on-screen menu and stuff. But it's a very beautiful screen. Well, at least my old LG is. They're very, very similar. On the back, and I should really bring the camera closer to show it to you. Inputs, really briefly. VGA input, it still has one of those in case you want it. It does have a headphone jack. It's got DisplayPort, HDMI, and a USB hub. That is pretty cool. The fact that it's got a USB hub, so if you have, for example, let's say you have a mouse and a keyboard and your cables are strung way under your desk and the cables aren't very long. No worries, plug your mouse and keyboard or other device in here, and then there's just one cable here, and there's probably an included cable, which will go straight to your computer. Let's take a look at the cables and see what's in there before we plug this in, shall we? I mentioned 27-inch monitor before. This is 40% bigger. I will go grab a 27-inch monitor here in a second, put them side by side so you can see them. What is in here? Let me do this. I try to keep things the same. I'll put that there, and I'll stand over here. They do provide it. Okay. They do provide the USB port cable, which is right here. One end of this will plug into a single USB port on your computer. One end will plug in the monitor. Note, this is a USB 2.0 hub, not a 3.0. So this would not be suitable for external hard drives, but it would be plenty for a webcam, keyboard, mouse, a printer, that kind of thing. So there's two ports in the back and then the extension cable which plugs in your computer. They do provide a VGA cable. Are you using VGA in 2016? Well, if you are, they provide one. They also provide, what is this? Power brick, okay. So this is a small power brick. This end plugs into the computer, and then this end plugs into the wall, standard 3-prong power plug. And oh, this is nice. They also provide an HDMI cable. HDMI, or high definition media interface, is what most of you are probably going to use. Basically, any computer from the past 5 years is going to have an HDMI port. You'd be hard pressed not to. So use the HDMI cable. You get a digital signal, perfect connection, no worries. There's a small cable management tab for the back. What is this for? Cable management. Instead of having the cables run roughly on your desk, this hook or clip connects onto the back. All of the cables, instead of just having them across your desk, they run across the back of the monitor and down the post in the center through this and then out the back, so that you don't have 5 or 6 cables strung all over the place. It's a nice touch. What else is in here? A warranty card and an easy setup guide, which says take it out of the box and plug it in. Let me go grab, boy, there's a lot of mess. I'll be back in a second with the 27-inch monitor. And I'm back. The monitor directly in front of me is a 27-inch monitor, and here is the LG 32-inch monitor. This is an easy way to see the size. Because of area, the LG 32-inch monitor is 40% larger in terms of square inches, I will put the numbers up, than the 27-inch monitor, yet it's only about 25% more expensive. If you would like a larger monitor where the fonts can be bigger, the words and pictures can be bigger, videos can be bigger and easier to see, then definitely for $200 this LG is an incredible deal. Now some people are going to say, doesn't it make it too pixelated? Is that too big for 1080p? I mentioned earlier it depends on your viewing distance. Let me also say that it depends on your eyesight. It depends upon how much the pixels being visible bothers you. Frankly, I can see the pixels on either of these screens. Whether it's 27 or 32, if I actually look at the monitor rather than the words and pictures, I can see the dots on either one. That doesn't really make a difference. If you want to make all the dots go away, you either need to go to a much smaller monitor, like a 21-inch, or you need to go to a 1440p or 4K, which of course costs more money. If you sit 18 inches from your monitor, yeah, it's a little big. It's not too bad, but it's a little big. If you sit between 2 to 3 feet from your monitor, unless you have super eyesight, it's not really an issue. I don't have any issue with this. In addition to using my old 32-inch LG for videos here on the desk, I've also used it in the other room on a regular computer, and it's such a beautiful screen. The screen panel itself is so pretty. It doesn't bother me. Now, I wouldn't want it to be my main personal display, because I personally use a 4K display because I make 4K videos and use it for professional applications. But for a secondary computer for me, or a primary computer for the average person, this is all you need. It really is all you need. Now, I am going to grab a computer, plug it in and turn it on so you can see what it looks like. And we're back. Now, I have got this plugged into a computer, and I've got Grand Theft Auto 5 loaded. Why? Well, because it's got pretty colors and a nice backdrop. I used it in my IPS versus TN panel comparison. Don't worry, I'll exit out of this in a minute. I'll show you windows and some images. But I figured since I did it in the other video, I would go ahead and do it here. Interestingly enough, if anybody's interested, we're running on the $720 CyberPower PC that I previously reviewed. Awesome deal on a computer. $720 plus the SSD and the RAM makes this about $800. I've done the upgrade videos. Plus $200 for this. The complete package for monitor and computer, $1,000, and you have yourself the ultimate 1080p gaming machine. That's just gorgeous. It really is. I'll move the mouse around so you can see. Now, the weather at the moment is cloudier than it was the other day when I was doing the IPS versus TN. We actually had blue skies. I should probably change that. But let me just turn this so that you can see the viewing angle. I'll come over this way and we'll do it this way. That was a little bit too far reach. Now, one thing that this monitor does not have is a swivel base. Some of the more deluxe monitors have height, tilt, swivel, etc. For $200, you can't expect that, quite frankly. But, in fact, I'll just go ahead and come around. This is actually easier. I'll turn it all the way around this way. It does have a tilt. I'll tilt it back just a touch. I don't want to tilt it too much so it doesn't get the light reflection, but I'll tilt it a little bit. So it has tilt, but no height and no swivel. So the only way to turn it left to right is to physically pick it up. But of course, how often do you turn your monitor? I don't know. Frankly, I don't ever turn my monitors. I put them in a place and I never adjust them again. Height, if you want to change the height, well, put a telephone book under it. Forward tilt. It has maybe a 2 or 3 degree forward tilt. Back tilt, maybe 10 or 12 degrees, give or take. I'll go ahead and turn it to the side once more. Now, if you look, you'll see the reflection of my softbox. Again, that is, I believe that is actually 425 watts of Rio compact fluorescent, 2100 watt equivalent, so not realistic. And there's another softbox over there. I have a bunch of them. There we go. But I've tried to get it set up so that they don't reflect when it's pointed towards the camera. Let's get out of Grand Theft Auto 5 and go, well, before we do that, for anyone curious, I used the cheat code and spawned a lot of comments. What can I say? I thought it would be funny. And I can't get out. That is funny. Oh well. Let's get out of Windows and go look at something else. This is the same test image that I showed during the IPS versus TN panel. I figured, why not go ahead and show the same image? Makes it easier. So in terms of overall quality, while it may not be 100% sRGB, how does that look? It looks pretty good, I think. We'll turn this to the side a bit. A little bit more. That's nearly a 45-degree angle to the camera. How do the colors look? Is this monitor as good as the 32-inch 4K monitor I reviewed a couple days ago? No, but that monitor is like $700-ish. This is $200, so this is a deal. I love deals, what can I say? We'll turn it this way, ignoring the reflection. There we go. How does it look? If we switch to the other test images I had, frankly, it looks just fine. What can I say? There's another test image I had. In terms of the, yes, I want to close all tabs, the on-screen menu. Now, we are, of course, running at Full HD 1080p. There is a single button along here on the bottom. You push it up. When you push it up, it brings the on-screen menu. You can pull it forward to turn the monitor off. You can go to the right. It's a joystick. It's a 5-way joystick. It pushes up right here in the center, just one button. Come to the right to do input. Come to the left to go to menu, or go to the top to go to picture mode. So in picture modes, it's currently, I haven't changed anything. This is the way it came out of the box. It says custom. There's reader 1, reader 2. Watch the colors change. A little bit. There's more. That's photo, cinema, color weakness, and gaming mode. There's many configurations in there if you care. Bring it back up. Let's go to menu. Let's see what's in the menu. In the menu, we have a brightness control. It's currently set to 100% brightness. Contrast is set to 70%. What happens if we bring that all the way up? Not much. Maybe that's the wrong backdrop. I should probably have left the image up. Let's see if that will bring that back up if I pull that up. No, it didn't. Now there's a volume control. Why is there a volume control? Speakers. There are speakers built into this. There's a 3.5 millimeter jack in the back. Don't use the speakers. They're cheap. I've previously done a review of some Logitech, I believe they were S150 speakers, desktop USB bus-powered speakers. They're like $10. They are miles ahead of this. Spend $10 and buy a pair of speakers. Don't use monitor speakers, they're terrible. So we'll go back over to menu. Smart energy saving, so you can set, when it turns itself off and whatnot. Come down to picture. Now there are color adjustments if you care about such things. You can change the color temp. You can adjust individual colors, red, green, blue, etc. What's in general? Language, power LED, whether it goes into automatic standby or not, on-screen display lock, and then auto reset. Auto configuration is grayed out. That's probably if you have VGA plugged in, because VGA is analog. It has to sync up with the signal. That's probably why that's grayed out. I don't even have a VGA plug on here to plug it in, so I can't. In fact, I don't think any of my computers in the office still have a VGA plug on them. I'd probably have to find one. It's relatively simple and straightforward, but it has some basic adjustments if you need it. 32-inch, 1080p, IPS, $200. I love it. I bought another one. I already owned a 32-inch LG 1080p, but for $199.99, that is a screaming amazing deal. Links to both Newegg and Amazon will be in the video description below for that monitor. Please go check it out. By all means, buy it wherever it costs the least. I recommend this 100% for the price and for the features. That's a deal. The only people for whom it's not a deal are extreme online esports gamers who want a higher than 60 Hz refresh rate, professionals who need a higher than 72% sRGB color gamut for professional image editing, and people who want a 1440p or 4K monitor. Beyond that, that's the deal in 1080p monitors. Like the video if you like it. Don't if you don't. Remember to subscribe to my channel. It's the big huge red button right down below the video. If you've already subscribed, thank you. If you haven't, click the subscribe button now to get notifications for when new videos come out, unboxings, hardware guides, reviews, build guides, game performance reviews, and all sorts of cool stuff. Leave your questions and comments down below the video in the comment section. And as always, check out the video description for all of my wonderful links, which I greatly appreciate. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.